Hi there, welcome back. Okay, I'm just going to give a very quick demonstration again on how to make a fish stock. I know we have covered this and you will more than likely have done it several times when you're making a stock. Making a stock of whatever variety is very similar. There are a few different processes to follow for each individual stock, but it is the building up of flavour, that layering of flavour and then reduction of liquid in there to get as much flavour into that liquid as possible. So a fish stock, I've prepared a mirepoix of white vegetables. I've got some celery in here, I've got a little bit of fennel, I've got some white onion, I've got some garlic, I've got a couple of the ends off the lemons which can go in. I don't want to put too much lemon in because I don't want it to be tart or bitter, but I'm going to put those in just for a little bit of freshness. I've got some herbs which I'll trim off and pop the herbs in a little later on as you're following the process. I've got the fish bones from my flat fish which I'm going to use. I've got some white wine, I've got some water, and I've got some salt and pepper. Now I've got peppercorns. They can just be dropped in rather than cracked black pepper. And obviously I've already mentioned my salt there. So fish stock is the quickest stock to do, and the reason it's so quick is because it will go cloudy the longer you cook it, and it will go bitter. So it's done 20-25 minutes, no longer. Large saucepan, I've got a little bit of oil in there which I'm going to put in first. I'm going to let a little bit of heat get into that pan, then I'm going to drop my fish bones in. I'm going to give my fish bones a little bit of agitation with add some salt, a little bit of agitation. Once that meat on the fish starts to go white, I'm then going to drop my mirepoix in as well, and I'm going to sweat those off. Okay, my pan's coming up to temperature now. A little bit of salt in, start building that flavour. I'm not going to put the peppercorns in yet. I'll put the peppercorns in once I've got my liquid in, and I'll just let those infuse. The flavour will be drawn out of those. As you can see on the camera, I think you can, but obviously there's a lot of steam coming off that already. The water out of the fish is being reduced, and what I'm left with inside of the pan, if I turn that, you start to see I'm starting to get sediment on the bottom of the pan already. That is the white fish that is still attached to those rib bones, starting to cook and starting to get the flavour out. So all that mirepoix is going in. I'm going to stir that around. I'm just going to soften it. Now the sugars and the natural water in those vegetables is going to add to that flavour. It's important that they get the chance to release their flavours into the pot. I know you can't smell this because obviously the way that we're doing it, but I've got a beautiful aroma of those vegetables, of those fish bones. Now, good example of what's happening to the fish bones. You can see that the fish is being cooked and falling off. That's all going into the pot. Now, I'm going to deglaze that. I'm just turning that down because that's quite a lot of temperature there. I'm going to deglaze that with the white wine. So that's the first step of all that sediment coming off the bottom of the pan and being released into what will be our fish stock. That smells absolutely fantastic. Okay, I've already mentioned fish stock's quite a quick process, so what we need to do is quickly 1, 2, 3 black peppercorns in there. Preferred is white peppercorns because there's less chance of any colour being imparted. I don't have any white at home, I've just got black, so I'm going to use those. If you have to use a ground pepper, use ground white pepper. It's what you would normally find in your pepper mills, so use that. I'm going to give my thyme a little haircut. I'm going to put the thyme into the pan. Add a little bit of herb. If you had bay leaves, you'd get a bay leaf in there as well to add to the flavour. If I was doing this on a larger scale, in a big professional stock pot, and I was making a big batch of, well, any kind of stock really, I would use bouquet garnis and I would tie those together and put those in. Because the last thing you want to do is go hunting for strips of thyme and bay leaf and trying to get those out. So I would wrap those up in a bit of muslin or a blue J cloth, tie them with some string, get them in there so all that flavour is being imparted into the liquid, yet it's controllable and you can bring it out. So that's everything in the pan that I want in, with the exception of a pint of cold water. Always cold, because it's like pressing a big reset button, beg your pardon, and you're going to make all those ingredients start to work again to put more flavour into that liquid. So that has taken 6 minutes. I'm now going to bring that to the boil and control it on a fast simmer for about another 15 minutes. Once that's done, I'm going to take it off. I'm going to strain it through a sieve, and then that will be my fish stock. I'll then cool it appropriately, and then I'll either use it within 90 minutes or it will be stored as we need to store it. Remember, you've got that 90 minutes to get it cooled down for your refrigerator temperature. Okay? See you soon.